Hi, and welcome to the introduction to Power Editor. We're going to be going through the new interface for Power Editor as it was recently updated. Now, Power Editor is essentially a separate application accessible through Facebook that helps you manage and create your ad campaigns, as well as a number of other management tools for your Facebook business marketing. Now, first off, we have up here the URL to get to your Power Editor. There's some other ways also to access that, but this is the primary URL. When you first open Power Editor, you want to come into the habit of always downloading and uploading your changes. So you want to download any changes that have happened, maybe from a different computer or a different access point, to make sure you're working with the latest information. And so you just click download. You select whatever accounts, you may have multiple accounts, and you hit download, and that goes ahead and updates it. That way you're actually working with the most updated information. When you've changed some things, the upload changes button will turn green, and you'll know that you'll need to press that before you exit later. Now, there are many different areas to the Power Editor, and in the new interface they're much easier to access. You have your Manage Ads area, which is where you're going to create your campaigns. You have your Audiences area, which is essentially where all of the tracking pixels that you have set up on different web domains that you may have, or maybe different pages of those web domains, you're going to have that within your audiences. You've got your image library. You've got your reporting mechanism, and that's going to be how you start to measure your different metrics. Page posts is something that's quite interesting because you can take a look at all the posts that you've put to your page and see how they are, what results you're getting from them. What's their reach? What's their engagement? How many people are talking about it? This really gives you a great idea of the kind of engagement you have on your page and what posts are creating that engagement so you can do more like them. And then you have other tools such as the campaign dashboard, which gives you a bit of an overview of the current way that your campaign is running. Conversion tracking, which is going to be some more tracking pixels, but more specifically for website conversions, so people taking action on your website. Billing is just going to be your settings, and account groups. You're not really going to do too much with these once you've set them up originally. In billing, you will set up your financial institutions that let you pay for your ads if this is your first time ever using Facebook ads. Let's come back over to Manage Ads. Now, in the Manage Ads area, you begin with the campaigns, ad sets, and ads. Your campaigns are going to be your overview of the entire objective that you're going for. And you'll notice that it will show you right over here what your objective is, what your buying type is. Now, there's two ways that you can do a buying type, as an auction or as a fixed price. I always recommend that you do the auction because the auction is going to help you in optimizing your ads. Facebook will automatically optimize your ads for the most number of clicks or for whatever your objective is. And you want to set that up because it allows you to both save money and be more efficient and effective. If you set a fixed price, you may undervalue or you may overvalue it, and that's going to hurt your campaign in the long run. Now, once you select a campaign that you want to edit, you'll notice that a little pencil icon comes up over here, and that is your edit. Within your campaigns, you can edit the buying type and the objective when you're first creating the campaign. After that, you can't really change any of the settings other than setting a limit, so a full campaign spending limit if you're on a certain budget for the entire campaign. You can also turn it on or off by simply switching here. Now, when you get over to the ad sets are your different target audiences. And you'll see, for instance, here how we've got a related brands audience, which is going to be different keywords and brand names that are related to the campaign that's being run. You'll also notice an existing audience, fans. We can open that up a little bit. fans and friends of fans, and an existing audience based off of emails. Now, the emails one is based off of an audience that you may have created by uploading an email list. And similar to the campaigns, if you select one of the ad sets and then come over to the little pencil edit icon, it brings in this other window that lets you edit different aspects. So you can change your daily budget. You can change the schedule with which you're running it. I often recommend that you schedule without an end date unless you know exactly when a campaign is going to end. You can edit the audience that you've set up, and you can edit the placement of where you're placing things. Mobile newsfeed, obviously for mobile devices. Desktop newsfeed, it's going to come up in a person's actual newsfeed looking like a normal post. Desktop right column, that's going to be more like what comes up on the side menu or the side bar of your Facebook interface when you're scanning through and seeing different things. And your optimization and pricing, where you can choose what you want Facebook to optimize for, and this really only is there if you're doing a auction style. So you can clicks to website, daily unique reach, clicks, impressions, so many different things. I would just keep it at clicks to website or whatever your main objective is. The other options, we can go more in depth in other videos or questions in the group. Over here, you'll notice that it lets you have an estimated look at what your potential audience is. And you've got some ad set links. And so just the ad set ID to view it in Ads Manager, which is the normal Facebook's interface for creating ads. Power Editor is a more advanced way of doing it. So that's the editing that you can do there. And if we take a look quickly at the audience editing, which is going to be quite important, within the audience editing, you can either choose to add a custom audience that you already have, and you can include or exclude it. The reason you would exclude an audience is, let's say, for instance, you don't want all the people who are already on your email list to be getting ads to be added to your email list. And so you would exclude them so that you're not wasting money on displaying ads to them. You can set up your locations, so depending on what countries, cities, towns, villages that you want people in. And new to the interface now is that you can actually choose either to have it with everyone in this location, or just people who live there, people who recently were there, or people traveling there. You can set up your age, demographic, gender, more demographic information here. Normally you're not going to do this unless you're really setting up something specific. You want to actually create your audiences based more off of retargeting, tracking pixels, website audience pixels, an existing audience. When you're doing more of a demographical audience set, that means that you're using a cold audience and you're going to have a little tougher time doing things. Now, if you wanted to add your fan page people and you want to limit it to just them, you would say add connection type. You can add your Facebook pages, apps, or even events. Let's say you ran a big event and you want to target those people who went to the event, or friends of those people going to the event, or you want to exclude the people going to your event. You can set up a language. Let's say your product or service is English oriented only. We'll only put that in. And then you can set up some interests, which are keywords describing and related to what your campaign is about. And then you just hit save and continue on. Now, once you have your ad sets set up, then you're going to come down into the actual ads. And by the way, whenever you're creating these in each of these different areas, you can just come up here to create a new one. You can duplicate the an existing one here by selecting it and then duplicating. You can revert if you've made a mistake. You can delete things if you no longer need them. You can save audiences. You can export and import into different ad sets and whatnot. And you can create a report off of different things. Now, with your ads, there's many different design elements. So again, coming over to the little editor, your ad is always going to be tied to a Facebook page. You can choose whatever page you would like it to be added to. And that then shows up here as who sponsored it with a like page button on your actual ad. You can also not connect a Facebook page, which means that you're not going to be able to run newsfeed ads. And I would say that newsfeed ads are probably the most profitable and effective ads, so tie it to a page. After that, you've got your ad creation area. You can either create a brand new ad using an image or a video, or even multiple images in a carousel. The multiple images is great for e-commerce sites that have multiple products, or maybe you have multiple upsells or upgrades to a service. You can do that there so that you can show all of them, up to 5 images, for the same bidding price. Or you can create an ad based off of an existing post already on the page that you've selected. And that's just by selecting here different posts that you've had on that page. If you're creating an ad from scratch, you're going to want to have a URL, and then you're going to have a display URL. The display URL is what gets shown on the ad down here at the bottom of your ad. So maybe you don't want this ugly looking affiliate link that I've got here, and you want to make it look nice and pretty, so you have it be this one. And you would type that in here. Then the text that you have above the ad image goes in here under the text box. The headline is what's just below the image in bold. And then below that is a newsfeed link description, which if you start to put something about that in, you'll notice it. We'll change it here in a moment. That adds a small description down here, which normally you want to create as a call to action, asking people to either share, comment, like, or sign up for whatever it is you're offering in that post and ad. You can now create video ads, and so instead of an image, you can select a video and upload it. You do have certain limitations. It must be an MP4 or a MOV video, up to 40 minutes in length, 1 gigabyte maximum. What I would say is your videos don't want to be more than 2 minutes to 5 minutes. Most people don't watch videos on Facebook for more than 30 seconds. And so having that in mind when you're creating an ad campaign with a video. And most important in your campaign or in your ad is the call to action button. You have a choice of many different options here. You can either say no button, or you can say a book now, contact us, download, learn more, shop now, sign up, watch more. And that button ends up right here at the far bottom right corner of your ad. It's just another way to call to action a movement of the people looking at your ad. You want them to see a call to action within the top text, share this powerful self-empowerment home training course. You want your imagery to show some form of call to action. By the way, your imagery can have only 20% text, so you got to get creative to make sure that the totality of text in your image doesn't go over 20% of the space of the image. Your title, your headline title, should also be somewhat of either a description of the product or service you're doing, or again, another call to action, another call to action in the description below that, and the call to action button. Pretty much you're just telling people click here, click here, click here, click here in different ways, because you want them to move from the ad towards somewhere else, maybe a landing page, an opt-in page, a sales page, a video, something. At the very bottom, you'll notice that there's a tracking pixel area. So if you are tracking conversions, or maybe you're just tracking any kind of activity, a lead, somebody opting into your newsletter or something, you can add that tracking pixel here. You can either create it, or if there's other ones that have already been created, you can add existing pixels. And that is the primary overview of how to create ads within the Power Editor. Now, when you're creating audiences, let's say you want to upload an email list and save it as an audience. Now, what happens is Facebook will look at that. You come up to custom audience. You do a customer list. Or maybe you've placed a tracking pixel on your website and you want to get a tracking pixel to place on your website. you just create a website traffic one, or maybe you have an app that's out there in the Facebook environment and you want to get the activity from it. All of these allow you to use the data that's collected off-site, off of Facebook and off of your fan page, to create an audience of people who are on Facebook that can now be displayed and add to. You can also create lookalike audiences or save an audience or have a saved audience from something else. Lookalike audiences are going to be based off of your fan base, your email list, your retargeting website pixels. There's many different ways, or conversion tracking pixels. There's many ways that you can create different audiences. Now, the other area where you have tracking pixels similar to the audiences, and these are more for website conversions, meaning actions taken on your website, is in the conversion tracking. Now here you can create as many as you'd like of different conversion tracking pixels, and these are to show when somebody takes an action on your website. Once you've got them set up, then you can add them to your ads as a way of optimization or retargeting. All right, that concludes our exploration of the new Power Editor interface. If you've got questions, ask them in the group, and be sure to watch both videos for the Power Editor. There is also an older interface that you may still be using, so go ahead and check that one out as well if that's what you're on, so that you can make sure you're using the correct methodology in it. And that completes our tutorial as an introduction to the Power Editor application for creating ad campaigns here on Facebook. Thanks.